Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my friends, and welcome back to the hypest place on earth, the Cozy Club. Now, as you guys are well aware, about 48 hours ago was the launch of Club Expedition, DSA's newest game mode. Now, there is a lot of unpacking to do with Club Expeditions and all of the requirements and what you need to go through the entire caverns and give the most chance of success for you and your club completing the game mode throughout the week. Now, unfortunately, the game does a terrible job at explaining exactly who you need, what you need, and then obviously prioritizing which characters you and your clubmates are going to need to farm to make it through the furthest and get the best rewards possible. Now, luckily, club, allow me to be your Indiana Jones. Allow me to be your Club Expedition guide, as I didn't want to take a week to understand the game mode. I wanted to go ahead and do a little bit of a mini series and give you guys a multitude of videos and get you content, more importantly, as fast as possible to help you and your club quickly, because Club Expeditions isn't going anywhere. Now, I'm sure they're going to fix your requirements to make it a little bit easier to understand for everybody, but I'm not waiting for Glue or DSA because we don't know how long until it makes it a little bit easier for you guys to understand. And honestly, there's a lot of hidden requirements and like misleading requirements. Like it says that you need frozen, but you don't. It's pretty confusing stuff. So on today's video, guys, I'm going to directly tell you, starting all the way at early clubs, working your way to the late clubs, who you should be farming, gearing up to give yourself the best chance of survival. Let's go ahead and jump into today's video. Alrighty, Cozy Club. So first thing is first, Club Expeditions is vital and very important. You cannot ignore it like Club Conquest or even Club Dungeon. It's right up there with even the raid as far as the rewards go and what you get for the effort that you put into the game mode. Now, over the next course of some days here, I'm going to be getting out a good, bad, and the ugly, and what I would change about the game mode. And I want to make something clear. Today is not the farming guide. It is going to be a character priority guide to get your club ready to go and take on the expedition. Now, free to play and pay to play, rejoice, my friends, as the farming guide is in the works and it should be out pretty dang soon. And with the arrival of the new game mode, we can now kind of add in these requirements into the overall farming guide picture so it doesn't get outdated pretty swiftly. The little bit of guidance after you do some national treasure and get your bin gates on, you can go to the info screen, which anytime that you see the eye on this game mode, click on it, read it, try to understand it. That's the few clues that we have to find national treasure, in which is the requirements for Club Expeditions. But if you scroll on down here through the info tab, it does give us some of the requirements, right? It says Aladdin, it says Incredibles as you make your way through, and then you can be going on to Frozen, Tangled, Adventurers, and so on to Jungle Cruise characters. Now, the problem with this, guys, is quite frankly, you don't need Frozen. You only need one Frozen character at the time. And out of all of these characters, you really don't even need a ton of Incredibles. Only a few people within your club are going to need them. So these are the characters that I guess are the destined and that do better. But again, this doesn't tell the full story. So we're going to go ahead and tell you guys the order of who I would farm to make your way through all of the floors. We have now successfully beaten the game mode and you can really understand it to its fullest. As you go through, you're going to be going through battle chambers, beacon chambers, as well as the boss. And all these are going to require different sets of characters. For instance, in floor 1, you're going to need Aladdin characters, and you're going to have to do battles with Aladdin characters to finally take down the boss with the full set of Aladdin, Jasmine, Genie, and Jafar. So we'll get to that here in a moment, but you'll also have beacon towers, if you're following with me, that are going to require other characters like Peter Pan, Downtown Heroes, and so on. And so I'm going to give you guys the earliest farms and the best characters that aren't only going to help you in this game mode, they're also going to help you within getting other legendaries. And again, we're all about like bang for buck here, right? So these characters are going to help you get Maleficent and unlock better teams for the raid. So let's go ahead and start with our first set of characters. Now, for everyone out there, if you've been playing since the beginning of this game coming out, a lot of you guys experienced the early kingdom meta. You should have your Aladdin characters pretty well geared up. However, for those of you that have joined either later than that, around the Big Hero 6 or later meta era, you did not get your hands on the Aladdin crew, and for good reason. They're not great characters, and we thought they would be reworked, Currently, they are not, but everyone gets an Aladdin, and typically you find yourself getting a Jasmine pretty early on as well. Now, we have good news and we've got bad news. The good news is for the majority of the entire farming requirements, these are going to be probably like the worst characters out of the bunch. But the good news is pretty much the rest of the farms you'll be using in other game modes. Like Aladdin and Jasmine is about as bad as it gets. So to put it simply, because it's impossible for me to know all of y'all's different rosters, I'm going to try to go at the approach of a blank slate of a roster. That way you can look at this and kind of gauge where you're at, who you're missing, who you need to add in, and we'll kind of go from there. That way it can help free to play and work its way up to the very top at the tier 9 end of club expeditions. That being said, if you enjoy these kind of videos that help out the majority, not only just in game, but also beginning and mid, all in one video, go ahead and show your support by clicking the like button to show me that these kind of videos are what you guys are looking for. Let's go ahead and jump to who I recommend going after first at a blank slate of a roster. Now, out of the early farmable Aladdin trios, the first character that you guys know I'm going to recommend is going to be Genie. First of all, he's the best out of the bunch, and you're going to be using him in other game modes. You can get him in the Grand campaign as well as some of the Heroes/Villains campaign. So pretty accessible farm. And the first goal you guys are going to want to do is farm Genie, who I would put the priority on up to 7-star and tier 7. You can get away with 6-star for a lot of the requirements, but you probably should just go the extra mile. Look at what clubs and what, expeditions you guys are doing and what those requirements are. But for a tier 9, I believe it's 6-star, T7. And to make your way up there, you might as well kind of work towards that common goal. So Genie is going to be that first character that you want to go ahead and unlock. And at the very same time, you will also be farming a few other characters. This is like a farming guide light, right? We're going to try to maximize those resources to get you and your club going as quickly as possible. So Jasmine is going to be needed as well, and she is also available within the normal energy campaign. So Genie for the Grand campaign, you'll do Jasmine in the normal, regular hero and villain energy. Now, outside of Jasmine, you can also grab yourself, obviously, Aladdin, who is going to be used to get Jafar. So to be clear, the first thing we're doing, right, is we're trying to unlock Jafar. You're going to need all 4 of these characters, or at least a good majority of your club, to get through the first Claude Frollo boss on floor 1 that we have gone up against on stream. And this is going to be kind of where the bottom line is. Now, this is where I do wish that they would bring a rework to them. They're kind of forcing everybody to farm. I think they should restructure some of this, but that's for the video of the good, bad, and the ugly. But your whole goal here is to get these guys up at bare minimum requirements to unlock Jafar. Now, you can unlock Jafar through the side campaign mission that's always available, so that's the good news. You don't have to wait there. And then you're obviously going to have to bring him up to scuff with the rest of the Aladdin crew as well. Now, if you were going through the resources that the game provided, you might think after the Aladdin crew, you might as well go and farm Incredibles, as this looks like it's the next man up. However, this could not be more wrong. You see, while you go through, especially the first couple of tiers and floors, one common denominator is found out through the first 3 floors, and that is Kingdom characters. As of the time of making this video, guys, Kingdom is by far the most required character faction that you're going to need to get through the entire expedition. The more Kingdom teams that you have, the more success you'll have through going through those first 3 floors. Now, some of your clubmates to tackle the boss and conquer some objectives are going to need some beacon characters and the Incredibles, but you don't all have to go for the Incredibles. So whether you have some players in your club that spend, or maybe you want the Incredibles that make a good raid team, you can get them as well. Now, we're not going to recommend you going after the Incredibles. However, as your club expedition guide, instead, I'm going to be showing you guys other Kingdom characters to kind of form a couple teams. I'm not going to just tell you guys, hey, go ahead and just get any Kingdom characters. We want to make the most use of your character tokens, your gold, and all this stuff adds up, right? So we're going to go ahead and recommend Kingdom characters for you guys to farm. I'm going to take you guys to the game here, and I'm going to show you guys the best Kingdom characters that I would farm to check off multiple boxes and make it the furthest within expeditions. Now, once you've gotten your Aladdin crew all the way up, the next character you're going to go ahead and farm is going to be Anna herself, Queen Anna, that is. We got to respect the royalty. And the best part about Anna is, guys, you can get her through the Sorcerer Tournament exchange. As long as you're doing your Sorcerer Tournament battles, she's a free currency and pretty easy to get. Now, why do you need Anna? Well, they say that you need all Frozen characters. Now, this might be fixed, but at the moment, you don't. You only need Anna. Now, within the farming guide, I definitely recommend farming Frozen. There's no reason not to. But this is just another reason to grab her as your next spot, and that should round out your first team of 5 to go ahead and unlock Queen Anna, as you're going to need her for the boss and also multiple kingdom characters as you make your way up the floors. Now, I know a lot of you in-game players are like, Cozy, we already know this. This is very early game stuff. Again, trying to touch all phases of the game here, and we'll get to the late game T9 recommendations here in just a moment. Let's go ahead and talk bang for your buck in the different exchange stores. So during the time that you guys are farming these other characters like Aladdin and Anna, you want to go ahead and go into both the club exchange and again, this tournament exchange. You're going to find Anna down here, right here at 4 tokens, but there's also another character that you'll want to farm here. That's Kingdom. Not a surprise to anybody. You'll want to go ahead and grab Shan Yu shards as you can to go ahead and start rounding out that kingdom team. Now, you guys are going to see here, what we're doing is we're actually slowly getting the requirements for Maleficent. That's going to help you later on during the game, or if you're at in-game and you don't have Maleficent, now is the time to start getting these characters. So to get more kingdom characters to help out your club, you'll go Shan Yu and you'll go Anna. Now, from the club exchange, we're going to keep the kingdom train alive, and you're going to be looking at a couple more characters within here. Now, both Yzma and Gaston are both available within the club exchange. Now, good news is, if you're early game, like really early game, you're not going to need this for gear right away. So you want to be farming these characters. Mid game, this is a big gear crunch. However, you get a good amount of this shard XP within the club expeditions. So you want to go ahead and round out some of your kingdom team right here. Now, I do understand there's some other options. You could go with Mulan. You could maybe go with the Beauty and the Beast squad to, simultaneously go after Beast. But this is going to be the easiest early farms to quickly get your clubs climbing and making their way through the expeditions as a whole. Now, to go ahead and finally wrap up Kingdom, again, you guys are going to need a lot of Kingdom to get through these expeditions. There's a lot of great choices here. Namari is going to be one way up there, along with Shan Yu and Anna. She's also in that Sorcerer's Tournament. But I also think you guys should go after Maximus, and that's mainly because later within the floors, as you kind of progress, you will need tangled characters. You're gonna need Maximus anyway. By far not an elite character. Don't go crazy, but start farming Maximus after you finish the previous requirements that we've talked about, especially the Aladdin energy, as this will only help your overall flow to get through the game and this game mode the quickest. Alrighty, friends, so we touched on Aladdin and the kingdom characters to get your club moving and grooving through the first floor, and we can get to the second floor. Again, you'll need some Incredibles depending on what tier you're playing. Some of the people in your club will need to grab them, as well as some Oceanics for the beacon towers. But luckily right now, the battles are extremely easy. The hardest part is the requirements to even get to the battles. Now, the other faction that you're going to need a lot of as you make your way through the expedition is Downtown Heroes. Both Downtown Heroes and Adventurers are going to be highly needed as you make your way higher through the floors, making your way through the expedition. And we're going to go ahead and tell you guys, by far, the 2 best choices for Downtown Heroes, again, to get the best bang for your buck. Now, my first recommendation for Downtown Heroes is going to be some of the best characters in the game where you can use other places, but also within the expedition. So obviously, guys, after you've done the Kingdom team here, you're going to be going after Frozone as a pretty early farm. He's available in the Grand Campaign, and he's going to be great within the game, although he's bugged at the moment. However, that should be fixed here pretty shortly. He counts as an Incredible, so that also kind of helps towards that floor 2 progress, but he's a great early character. So what I recommend going for is a Frozone solely from Club Expeditions, free resource, very easy to get. And then, guys, we're going to start kind of cross-pollinating here with the factions and going for Barley and some other adventurers. Now, lucky for us, I guess you could say, the adventurers, a lot of them are Downtown Heroes. In fact, the free-to-play ones are Downtown Heroes. So you're going to have to get these guys up. Again, it's going to be worth steering away the raid a little bit. It's going to be worth kind of going this direction because on a weekly basis, these rewards are going to really stack up. So Barley, solely Frozone, great downtown hero options. But also, guys, if we go to the adventure section here, all of the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers are downtown heroes and they're free to play farmable. So Dale, Chip, and Monterey Jack are going to be who I recommend to go ahead and farm up, as you're going to need these characters with your club to get through these different battles, and you're going to be using them as adventurers either way. Now, again, I know this is a lot coming at you guys, but with the 24-hour cooldown, once you use them on floor 3 for like a downtown hero requirement for the battles, floor 4, you'll have them at reset, and then you can use them and help your club out for the adventure battles. Because guys, when you get to floor 4 and 5, there is a ridiculous amount of need for adventurers, and so you're kind of knocking off 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, lastly, concerning the adventurer faction, you're going to start kind of leveling them up. You'll get Milo as you continue to work through club expeditions. That's the only current way to unlock him. However, guys, you can get Jack Sparrow, and as you unlock these downtown heroes, you'll have access to getting Raya when her event comes by. Now, you should already have Namari from when we recommended the Kingdom, and this is all going to kind of come full circle as you'll be able to get Raya, you'll have your Adventurers team, and that way you've got the Kingdom teams, you have Aladdin, you've got maybe the Incredibles, depending on where you're at, and then you have the Downtown Heroes / Adventurers. That way you're not, you know, farming different characters and then going for the adventurers separately. Now, yes, a lot of you guys do have Big Hero 6. Like, any downtown heroes are going to work. This is more of if you're kind of just like starting your slate clean and you're like, okay, I need to get up with my club to get these resources. That's why you want to go adventures and downtown heroes, but Big Hero 6 is a decent option as well. Now, once you've progressed, or if you're in an in-game club, the only way this is going to change is with a couple of different options. We're going to go back to the game here. Now, obviously, guys, Jungle Cruise characters, I've already suggested, I hope they add some type of an exchange, because you just simply can't even get these characters at the moment. So, like, literally, you can't beat floor 5 without somebody wailing out in your club, and that's not a good look, right? So don't worry about them at the moment. You are going to need both Onward, which you already have Barley from the previous farming advice. So you're going to go and finish off with getting his brother Ian. And then lastly, guys, you're going to need to grab, finally, the Gargoyles. Now, we have plenty of videos, I'll put them up top, about the Gargoyle faction. Really great characters. Regardless, you might have, you know, been leaving them out in your farming priority because maybe you don't need them. Guys, they're great in every game mode. They're going to be good in the raids. They're going to be great all over. Xanatos is one of the best characters within the game. Phenomenal character that you can get for your roster. And then Demona is very free to play friendly, and you can get her pretty early on. In addition, you can get these guys to get Scrooge Money Exchange Gold. So altogether, guys, you'll need to focus. The events for Gargoyles is coming very quickly, and I believe Raya is coming by soon as well. So if you can get it done by then, awesome. But this will be a tower event. This comes by pretty often, so you'll want to add them into your rotation if you're in a further along club that has the chance to get to floor 4 or 5. And guys, there you have it. There's the priority guide. Again, quickly going through it. You've got the Aladdin crew. You're going to get them while farming other Kingdom characters. You'll go Aladdin, Anna, the Kingdom characters from Maleficent. And then you'll make your way into the Downtown Heroes / Adventurers, as long as a couple people have the characters to get through the bosses as well. Again, guys, this is just the beginning. It's probably going to get a whole lot harder from here. And so we're going to do our best to try to understand these requirements. And I'm going to try my best to understand the game mode to give you guys more advice. But the game surely did not do that. So hopefully I was able to provide a little bit of advice on where to go and who to go after. Now, lastly, these beacons require all types of factions. So you'll just have to use your club entirety to fill these out. My friends, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening or day or morning, depending on what time you guys are watching. If you guys enjoyed today's video and why we climbed to 15,000 subscribers, go ahead and subscribe to the Cozy Club today. Like the video if you appreciated the content, and until next time, stay cozy.